part of the thing too is that no two school boards are alike. And the school board is, 5 random people, from your community. And those 5 random people, we're gonna have teachers, right? So, but those 5 people, as your board changes, because every year you have elections. So every year your team of 5 changes. And it can be for the better and it can be for the worse. But either way, it's not our choice, it's gonna change. We're fortunate where we actually just had an election and so our board stayed the same. And we work really well together. But are we all experts in every single aspect of what is required of us? No, but when we all come together and we all bring our skill sets and our experience levels together to help provide leadership to our community. But again, to Chris's point, not to be in the schools with the teachers and things, we happen to have teachers on our board, but but they're not going to tell their teachers in their school what to do. That's why we work with the administrative team, and they are way more well-versed in all of this that happens. And so, and I think that's the beauty of the school boards, especially in a state like New Hampshire. The beauty of the school board is that it's fluid. And we don't just get locked down into a box. We have RSAs that we have to abide by. And the really great thing, as Chris brought up, is that there's an enormous amount of training that the New Hampshire School Board Associations provide. I assume you've been to those new trainings, and they give you a book when you're after your first day, and it's a little bit like taking a drink out of a fire hydrant, right? You're like trying to take a sip out of a fire hydrant. There's just so much massive amounts of information, and until you've been on the board for 3 years, 6 years, 9 years, 12 years. I mean, we have had the pleasure of having some board members that have stayed with us for a very, very long amount of time. Alan is, he's our senior member now with the SAU board, and he's a wealth of knowledge. But I think that's one of the great things is that there's a lot of experience here. So you've mentioned several times, John, about being a new member. And I think by being a new member, to Deb's point, who is on her, second term, and she's been around a long time, is to, listen and gather understanding and knowledge from that, and maybe on your own do the readings of the RSAs, and they'll put you to sleep pretty easily. But go to some of the school board trainings and read through the books and that sort of thing, as opposed to looking for policies which may dictate something that's small, but not something that's going to fit into every single thing that happens within our communities. Because as we know, our communities are different, and our communities change on a regular basis. And there's always something new that's going to be thrown out at us.
Yeah, Nicole, I would like to tap into that well. Why did no one talk about what I said when I have shown mistakes that were supported by the record? I gave you all the background information for you to digest, think about, and I'm coming to you as a board and seeking that advice and saying, what am I to do? What am I to do when I approach administration and show them with minutes, with a video, with a document, that what they have done is not correct, expecting them to say, excuse me, I'm sorry, we'll correct it, and I'm given no. So I'm asking, that's why I brought it here. How am I to handle that? I have checked everything, and I've given it to you to check. But after I got done, no one said that what I had presented was an error or that there was any reason for it. So yes, I'm here to listen to you.
I guess I have a question. It sounds like it may be just an error saying it was stated or motioned in the negative. Is there an issue with spending the money? I mean, is there a problem with it, or is it just a matter of something was posted in the slide and, well, it maybe shouldn't have been there, but everything else is okay, and spending the money is fine, and we're okay with spending money? It's just a matter of this shouldn't have been in the slide. I'm just trying to clarify beyond that.
Actually, that idea did not pass. The idea of spending the fund balance did not pass. We decided to fund our math differently. And I would have to say that we can't judge our errors by the results. But when someone points out to you that you're wrong, and the record proves that, you have to correct yourself. You can't just say, well, nothing happened, so that's okay. I mean, we can't look at things that way. We don't teach our kids that. And I had asked, and I was patient that this be corrected, and I did a lot of work. I mean, this took me 2 hours to get all this stuff together so that it would be easier for you all to look at it. Because I didn't want to say, go look at all the record and everything. You don't know our business. That's why I brought it here. And I don't have a motion. But I would seek your counsel. I would listen to what you have to say about this.
Hold on one second. Want to speak?
And I didn't speak because Mr. Crowe wasn't asking for action, but in reference to our math funding, I'm the person who made the motion to accept the administrative cuts, and it was not specifically stated in my motion. I've been on the Hudson School Board for 2 years. I previously was not a big motion maker. I made this motion with the interpretation that we were accepting what the administration had said. Did it specifically say we're going to fund balance a certain amount? No. But that, leaving the meeting, that was my feeling of what I made a motion of, what was seconded, and what was voted on. So when this came up, it wasn't a scathing thing to me that it said we fund balance spend part of the program. It wasn't an issue because that was my interpretation, being the person who made the motion, and I am the person who did not vote for the math program for that reason, because it would have contradicted what I had earlier done.
The problem comes in the word approved at the Hooksett School Board meeting on November 20th. And I brought that to Karen's attention and to Dr. Littlefield's attention. I said, please just remove that language. If you'd like to say, suggested by the administration, I have no problem. But to say that it was approved, it was not. And I think we all understand that approved means there has to be a vote. And am I being a stickler about this? Well, maybe. But I didn't think I was going to get any kickback about just taking it off, because I thought it would just be erased. And it wasn't. So, is it a fine point? Well, we're trusted in Hooksett with a $26 million budget. And I'm elected by people to oversee that. And if I'm asked if something was approved, I want to make sure that in the minutes we voted correctly to approve, or motion failed and we didn't approve. We cannot go back and say the feeling was in the room that night that we spend $150,000. I don't think any voters are going to want to hear that. Certainly not myself. So I thought it was correctly stated. It turned into something different.